still stops abruptly. I can't figure out how to tail
I know.
Well, that was sudden.
There's got to be a way to like decrease the volume, but I don't know it. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Julian, last week I said we were good. Did we introduce ourselves last week, or did I just like say we were gonna and then forget it?
I think you said my name, and then you said.
Sorry. Well, we have the guest, and people are like, you and Julian need to like introduce yourself because not everybody knows you. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna. And then I think I said we were gonna and never did it. So yeah. Anyways, both of these lovely ladies below us, Jocelyn and Dagny, have been on before, but not together. I'm happy they are here together with us. Yes. So I will let them introduce themselves, and then Julie and I will do a short introduction, I promise. All right, Dagny, you're first for everything.
Oh,
For
what?
everything.
Not everything.
Number one.
She's like, wait, no.
I am Dagny. Thank you for not making me ginormous yet. I am Dagny.
I almost clicked it too as you were saying that, but I'm not.
It's fine. I am Flying Pig Thrifts. I sell on eBay, and that lady made me start a YouTube channel, and I am glad she did. And I hang out and shop with her, and I also do listings for her as well.
Perfect.
Yes. And I am Jocelyn, the Crazy Lamp Lady. I have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and I've been working really hard on my TikTok. So we'll see how that goes.
I did so good for a week. I did it every day for a week, and then it just trailed off, and I haven't went back on.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
It's hard to make, and it's so crazy because it's a short little video. And I was in the habit, and then I got out of the habit. And yeah. All right, Julian.
I'm Julian, and I also have a YouTube channel, and I'm not on TikTok because I will get on there and just scroll and not make any videos. So I don't have a TikTok, and I also have an Instagram, and I sell things online.
And I'm Kat, the Nurse Flipper. Thank you all. Look, oh, wait, I got to match Dagny. Hold on. I have my own. Okay. Don't kiss me, Ruby. I'm trying to talk. She's like, but no, you never picked me up. That's a lie. I'm Kat, the Nurse Flipper. Thank you all for coming to my channel. I am a full-time reseller. I still do nursing 2 days a week. And obviously, you're on my channel. I have my channel. And I have Instagram. And I tried to have I might try having TikTok again, but it's hard. It's hard to make 20-second videos. I need more time to talk. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I had one question in email, and we can say how we all handle it. They're saying when they get multiple orders, like a person buys like 5 or 6 things, how do you combine the shipping for them so that you don't just have to estimate, or do you just estimate?
Well, if you can send an invoice, if they haven't completed the sale, you can send an invoice, or if items can fit comfortably and safely in a box. Andrew told me this, that you can make the box and weigh it, and then make the label, and then you can weigh the next box that you have from the same order and just change the box size and the weight. So then they will have different tracking numbers, but it all goes to the same place. And then I try to refund shipping if it's necessary. Like if they paid way over and it's lighter, because like all those hats, some people bought like 5 hats. Well, the shipping wasn't as much. So I do refund shipping. Jocelyn.
So do you let them pay the full, or if they ask for a discount, how do you figure it out?
No one's asked. Well, I don't. I will go and pack up the items. I've done that, and then I say I'll pack up the items
to get like an estimate.
And I'll get you an exact. Yeah, I'll get you an exact amount, and then I can send that on the invoice.
Yes, I have not really handled the technical shipping end in a while, although the other week I did pack a lot of packages. But as far as the technical stuff goes, usually that's Andrew who told Dagny how to do that thing. But when people ask us if we can combine shipping, we try to combine it as long as it's safe and, we can, we're not worried about the items getting damaged because we do sell a lot of breakables. But there's two ways we've done it in the past is if they've already paid for their item or both items and then ask us for combined shipping, we will refund the difference once we get it packaged up, figure out how much it's going to be. We usually do refunds. And the other option is if they haven't paid yet, we will invoice them. And to do that, when I do it and when I have done it, I usually put all of the items together on the scale and add it all up. But Andrew estimates what everything's going to weigh. He's a little bit braver than I am. Like, no, we need to know the exact weight of all of these things. So I'm a little bit more technical about that. But
yeah, I do it the exact same way that they do it. Either combine it or invoice it. If it's combined and they ask for a discount, then obviously I'll just refund them the overage if they said that. The only times it comes into play is if you're shipping, like, they buy, like, say 3 big drivers, like golf clubs. They won't fit. That one driver won't be oversized, but then 3 will be because of the size of the heads. So it's much cheaper not to do it that way. And I kind of explained that to them, and they've been okay with it.
Yeah, and I do the same, but I estimate you can go on, like, you could use Pirate Ship to get, like, put in the dimensions in their zip code to get an idea, but I normally just estimate and give them a little bit off. But if it's where it won't fit in one box, then I would just let them know that. Because if they buy a couple of big pieces that need to be shipped in their own box, then in that case, I might not give a discount if it's not safe to ship them that way if they buy big breakable pieces, which does happen, and only if it's safe, because it's cheaper to ship 12 by 12 by 12 than it is to put something into a 20 by 24 box. You're gonna save them money by shipping in 2 boxes versus one giant box. Julie, do you need to sign up for global shipping? I started to open up to international sales and saw something about signing up first.
You do have to.
It's just enabling it, though, right? It's just an option, I think.
You have to click it, but you have to kind of sign up for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just hit enable.
But I wouldn't be scared of just signing up for it.
No.
All right. Duncan just had a burger and fries because it's lunchtime there.
Nice.
And
I just took a nap.
if you could go back in your reselling, he just wanted to let us know he had a burger and fries. But if we could go back in our reselling journey, what would you do different and why?
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a deep question. I would really have to think about that because I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I don't know if I would have done something different if I'd be somewhere else, but yeah. I can't think of anything.
My biggest one would just be I would just number these shelves like 1, 2, 3, and then I would put the item on number 1, number 2, and number 3.
I like that.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that. So.
What he said, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have gotten a bigger shed first and not waited till the end because, well, all of my unlisted is in this shed, and it would be so nice if it was listed here and the unlisted in the other. But now I'm like too deep into to move stuff, and I really need like a 12 by 60. I need like a house, a small house. I should have not rented my rental home to my son, which is right next to my house because he doesn't pay rent. And I should have made that my reselling house. That would have been perfect.
Start moving things in.
Just, hey, you're
I
not
love
paying
that
rent.
idea.
I'm taking up the bedroom. It's a 3-2 and it's only him and his wife. So I could totally do that. I wonder what they'd think. That would be kind of funny. Carol, eBay still has me below standard. How long does it take to get it off? I believe it's 3 months. Do they reassess every 30 days, but stuff stays on for 3 months, right? Like your dings.
Your feedback. Are you talking about feedback? Oh, sorry.
I know.
I forgot
like,
Dagny gets to answer first.
The shipping. Like she's saying she has dings from shipping and like canceling
Yeah.
orders and things like that.
I
Yeah,
had a thing that only I could see it. It didn't affect my seller rating, but I could see it. So it bothered me that I was late on shipping when I went to Arkansas, and that was in July, and they finally fixed it in October. So, but I think Jocelyn's right. I think they evaluate it you every month, but I think it stays on, right, for 3 months.
Yeah, so we recently had a glitch, something with our shipping, and we missed like 30 packages that were ended up being late, significantly late in September. And so we were going to drop to above standard instead of top rated seller, and I was freaking out. And we ended up they gave us a grace period, so we didn't drop below standard. And we actually, or I think it was above standard because top rated and then above standard. And we didn't drop. They gave us a grace period and let us keep our top rated seller status. And then the following month, they evaluated us again and we got top rated back. So I think it's every 30 days. I think it's the 20th. Well, for us, it's the 20th of every month they evaluate us.
That's good to know.
Yep.
Julian, yep. Mo sent me a $4.99 super chat and said, "Happy belated birthday." Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. I'm going to give you a dolphin. Super chat. I appreciate it. I got a lot of birthday wishes. And I even got a big package from, I don't know if she's in here tonight, Pam Flippin' Hot Finds sent me like all kinds of presents. And it was so cool. Dragonfly stuff, like little dragonfly pewter thing and cool stuff. And she sent stuff for Dalton. I think everybody knows, like, it doesn't matter whose birthday it is, Dalton needs a present because that's just how it works. Erica is asking, how do any of us deal with a package mix-up shipped to the wrong customer, asking for a friend?
I haven't done that, but I've sent the wrong size plates to somebody, and luckily I hadn't sold the other plate, so they were very nice about it. And I just said you could keep the other plates, and then I sent them the right plates. But I haven't sent it to the wrong people, just the wrong thing to the person.
For us, it really depends on the customer. There have been times where we've sent like for instance, we had these Annalise. We had so many Annalise, and there were 2 monkey Annalise, like one had a drum and one had skis, and Andrew mixed them up and sent them to the wrong person. A lot of the times we can message the buyer and be like, "Hey, we sent you the wrong one. Would you mind sending it to the other person and we'll refund you whatever the cost is." But a lot of the times if they're not really down for that, we'll have them send it back to us and then we'll swap them. But that tends to be a little bit more expensive because the packages are going back and forth. So it just depends on the customer and how much they're willing to work with us, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've done this one time and it wasn't like very expensive, and they were both t-shirts the same size. So one guy actually liked his other t-shirt better. So I was like, keep it and I'll give you your money back. And the other person sent the other one back and I just gave him a refund because the other guy kept his t-shirt. So, but it would really depend if it was worth a lot of money, because I would definitely, there's a difference between like a $20 t-shirt and a $300 camera or golf club.
Yeah.
So I would want that item back to send it to the right person.
Yeah, we luckily have not had that happen in a while. We did, because we had 2 to the same zip code and we were just writing the zip code. So now I write the zip code and the initials, because if I have 50 labeled, but it's how much of a chance that 2 people in this tiny town with the same zip code, but it happened to us twice. And I think both of them sent it back. But like Jocelyn said, if some people might be more willing, if you're like, "Hey, could you ship it to them?" And then they'll ship it to you if it's, mixed. Honestly, like those people live like 2 blocks away when that happened, and like they both sent it back, but it's okay. So yeah, other than that, like Julian said too, if it's not much and the other person's not demanding theirs, I would almost refund it, because shipping, if you're talking a $15 item, you're going to end up paying more in shipping back to you and then back to the right person. I would say just refund it, possibly too. Katie Poe, I bought some framed prints at an auction today. Me too, Katie. A whole bin of them. You see them? Do you think eBay or Facebook Marketplace is better?
I don't sell on Facebook Marketplace, so I would say eBay.
Same. Although we, sometimes we consider putting stuff in our booth. So, but that's obviously not part of the question.
I've never sold a framed print, so I don't know.
So I have sold a lot of framed artwork on Facebook Marketplace shipped. I think it would be, thank you.
Brad?
What are you looking for?
Is there another power strip over there?
No, I don't think so.
Well, those two, I took one. Oh, a big one.
This is not right now.
But I need
Jocelyn's
to-
laughing at you.
I need to-
It's something
What do
Andrew
you
would
need a power
do.
strip for right
Parking
now?
lot at the house, okay?
He's putting more Christmas lights up. He wants a power strip from my desk that is piled like this high, and I'm not. Okay. He brought me a drink though, so
That's good.
Yeah.
So I've sold a lot of framed prints on Facebook Marketplace is what I was going to say, but I also sell them on eBay. If they're really big and you're worried about shipping, I figure out shipping. Dagny did a stellar job on a picture. Was that yesterday? She sent me pictures of it.
Like 10:30 at
So-
night. Are you there?
On eBay that it sold. So I would put it on both if you're cross posting. I would put it on both because I think they sell well on both. I see super chat. Hold on, I'm coming. Wait. There's Mo. Brad's got, so the chickens are roosting on the porch. If you hear banging around, it is chickens on the porch of the shed. Dagny knows this. So I bought them a chicken coop. It's coming tomorrow because they can't keep pooping on my shed porch. It was cute at first. And then I'm like, yeah, no. So I bought them a cage to sleep in at night and then they can free range during the day instead of living on the shed porch. My flipping van life, $9.99 super chat. Thank you all for sharing your expertise. I've learned so much from all of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm going to give you $1.
Super chat.
Real quick, I don't know if Dagny answered this in the chat. Dagny's eBay shop is Flying Pig Thrifts, right?
Yep.
And I have the link to her channel, and she probably has the link to her eBay store on her channel. I would assume.
Yeah. There's a link.
Oh, and you have don't you have your website? Do you have your website? You do.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like I'm slacking behind you guys. I got to get my website.
I got that idea watching your show one night. I was like, oh, I need a website.
When I said I was going to do my, yeah. So I bought mine, I think that next day, but I've done nothing with, I own it. That's it. But nobody else can take it at least. Carissa says, I'm inspired to start selling on eBay, but they made me start as a new seller because I hadn't used eBay for 15 years. Any thoughts on how I convince people to buy from a low rated seller?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't know. Just give good service, good customer service. And then hopefully,
Yeah. And I would say just list items at a competitive price so that you can start getting your sales up.
I would say both of those things, and just make sure that your listings look just like every other seller's or better. Really good pictures, really good lighting and stuff, so you look, just as professional as somebody with 1,000 feedback if you only have 2.
no jars of
And you
pickle.
can
in the
also
bathroom.
buy cheap
No jars
stuff
of
too.
pickles.
Yeah. Buy
Jocelyn
cheap
let me
stuff.
do that.
Yeah. Buy cheap stuff too and build it up that way. Because then they don't know. Most people don't investigate to see if your feedback's from buying or selling. So
That's
like
true.
if I needed pens or if you need boxes or poly mailers, buy them from eBay and then you'll get feedback from buying and that'll help make it go up a little bit faster. I don't know if James is asking like where we live or like do we ship from our house or a shop. I don't know how to interpret this question.
I live in
Take it how you
Pennsylvania,
will.
and I take all my packages to the post office.
And I'm in Pennsylvania too, and sometimes they pick up our packages, and sometimes
saw
they
that.
don't.
Oh my gosh.
So we take them to the post office sometimes.
And you have a shop. They pack in a shop.
Yes, we pack at a shop. Yeah, we have a location that is not our home.
I'm in South Carolina, and I ship from this table and take it to the post office. This is my shipping table.
And I am in Florida, and this is my shipping shed. I ship from that counter back there as well. So Jocelyn, I saw you post about that, and we had kind of that issue last year, and we actually like felt bad for the post lady because her van would be full of packages to deliver, so she couldn't fit our packages to take them. So she was having to like come back like really late at night. So that's when we started bringing them. And I think Brad doesn't go anywhere, so I think he wants to like get out of the house anyway. So
yeah.
because it's so hard to depend on them coming, like, and then
That's
there's
the
the
problem
days
we're
that like the
having.
fill-in person's there and it's not the regular one, and
Yeah.
it's just
Andrew was
frustrating.
sick for a while, like for a week and a half. He had a bad like cold and congestion and stuff. And he's kind of a baby when he's sick. Don't tell him I told you, but he is. So he was like miserable. And so we had to kind of like everyone at the shop had to, get it together and cover for stuff that he would do. And our mail carrier stopped coming. And so Kate and I would load the truck. I'd have to drive the truck, and we'd load the truck with like 80 packages and pull it up to the dock and unload all the packages and tell the kids, stay in the car, because it's like there's so many vehicles coming in and out. So we had to do that a couple of times a week for a while. And then we were told we had a new person, and he was going to pick up every day from 3 to 4. And then he didn't come on Friday. And he didn't come on Monday. And so this morning, Andrew had to run all the packages to the post office. Just, it would have been one thing if they didn't tell us they were going to be there. But since they said, we're going to be here, we were depending on them. And so it was just kind of disappointing. If we hadn't been depending on them, we would have continued to take our packages to the post office ourselves. But it's just a frustrating situation because they're understaffed.
Yeah, it's hard. Maureen wants to know, what do you do if something doesn't sell?
I send offers, and then you will get it at a great deal. I just sold something the other day because I was like, yes, take it. Tired of looking at it. So I will send offers if things have been around. And Jocelyn doesn't have that problem.
Yeah.
What does that mean? No.
I don't usually have that problem because we run auctions and we start everything at $4, and most of the stuff we buy is worth at least $4. So it'll typically sell for, we have stuff that sells for $4, but hopefully not very many things selling for $4.
Just a couple.
Just a few.
I'm pretty patient. So I send offers, I will lower the price, I'll do sales, and then I'll just wait. Or then say, it's pretty cool, I'll keep it myself.
Yeah.
I've done that.
So,
Yeah, like,
you know what?
Okay, looks good there anyway. I don't unlist anything really. I sold 2 brochures tonight that have been listed over 2 years, and it was to two different buyers. I was like, what's going on? Like, I've had both of them 2 years and then 2 sell out of nowhere. So I have space and I'm pretty patient about waiting. And I did take a little bit lower offers on them. Like, I think they sent me a $6 offer and it was like $9.50. And then I took like 5 on 7. I mean, not like over half, but because they had been here for 2 years, I was happy they were leaving. Becky wants to know what we feel is the best bookkeeping method or software. She needs help.
I use GoDaddy.
We use QuickBooks and we have accountants.
I'm a big QuickBook fan. I use QuickBooks.
And I just use my accountant. He does everything. he does, like, he logs in to all of my accounts and gets the reports and does all the stuff, and I don't like dealing with it. And I started doing that when I started making like $2,000 a month, is when I hired him 2 years ago. And I was like, it's worth it to pay. It's just a little bit under $200 a month, but to me it's worth it, so I don't have to worry about the government. And I'm gonna give you guys a shocker here. If you're selling on Mercari, I just got notified tonight, if you sell over $600 on Mercari, they are 1099ing you this year. So surprise if you didn't plan on claiming your income, my friends. I just got it on Mercari. So eBay's starting, I believe, in January for the 600. I don't think it's this year. Facebook and Mercari are already 600, and I bet Poshmark won't be very far behind either, because I think that's the new law, I think. 5280 fines. Kat, I saw you sold a coffee table or an end table. Was that local pickup or shipped? How did I ship that? That is an Ethan Allen coffee table that has some stuff on it still. It's in my shed right down there. It is going to Massachusetts, and it is going to go U-ship. I have not found somebody to take it yet, because the one person who inquired about it was very rude to me, and I told them I would wait for someone else, because they told me I should have charged my customer more. And I'm like, please don't tell me how to run my business. Thank you. So it can take like 3 to 5 days to book someone to come and get it. It just sold 2 days ago. So I should have somebody booked by the end of the week. But the buyers, I tell them like 30 days to plan, because it's freight. So a company has to be able to come pick it up here in Florida and bring it to Massachusetts. And the buyer pays for that. So they paid $250 for freight. And all of my Ethan Allen pieces have went U-ship. None have sold locally. So they've all went U-ship, and I haven't had any issues with that. And I give them a quote. Like, they give me their zip code, I give them a quote. This one waited. I would prefer they wait, so I can just invoice them at all, because if they pay beforehand, I have to PayPal invoice them. And I always worry with sharing PayPal emails on eBay, but eBay does allow that, just so you know. Like, eBay is okay with that. They have told me to PayPal invoice people for the freight, but it's easier if people wait. Auction Up. Have you considered using Facebook Marketplace? He's saying he has done quite well with Facebook sales lately and the lower fees.
I've tried selling on Facebook Marketplace and it didn't work, so I stopped doing it.
There you go.
Same here.
Yeah, I only still sell locally on there. I think I've only shipped one item, and that was by accident. Well, I didn't ship it by accident.
And I sell on there. I love the 5%, but it's really hit or miss. It's like it either sells right away when it gets listed, or it never sells. So I don't know what makes Facebook decide to show people stuff, because there's no rhyme or reason. I don't know. Oh, Sonia, what kind of camera do you guys use for your eBay photos?
I use my phone, which is an Android.
Well, I have a team that works with me to do listings. Dagny is one of my team, and she uses Android. What?
She said, I use my phone.
Yeah, well, we actually purchased iPhones for everyone in the shop. Everyone who lists for us has an iPhone 8, and they take all the photos from the iPhone. And I mean, it's not like hooked up to a network. We just bought used iPhones off of eBay, and everybody uses the same phone. I mean, they all have their own phone, but it's all iPhone 8.
Phone. Get your
They're all huddled around one phone.
I know, yeah. It's my turn. Give me the phone.
That's pretty funny. I use my cell phone. It's a Samsung 20S.
And we're copycats and have the same phone. I have the Samsung 20 as well. And that's what I use to photograph all of mine as well. I'm just putting this up there because I love Dagny. Look, Dagny is so adorable and pretty.
And thank you for spelling my name.
I like that comment, so I thought I would highlight that. Dagmar, Dagny. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Dragnet.
That was a good
You
one.
have so many names.
I know.
Aaron. Do many positive reviews correlate with the number of views an item can get? I wonder. I'm assuming Aaron means like product reviews. I
Yeah.
would take that as. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't sell items that have product reviews.
The only time I do, it seems, is that they have a 0 star. It's or like 1 star, and I think it hurts it, to be honest with you. Like I'll sell one, and then it pops up. It has the product review, and it has like 1 star. And I was like, man, it looks like this thing is a piece of junk. But that's the only time that I've never had one. Yeah, but I've never listed one that was actually a good product review. I've
seen some, and I've heard people say like, don't link it if the product reviews are like 1 star, like Julian.
Mhm.
Like, go pick a different listing to copy. I don't know that it really matters because I think people search for what they want for, whether it has positive reviews or not. I don't know. I don't ever look at product reviews. Cindy Taylor, do any of you cross-sell on different platforms?
No.
I have some stuff listed on my website, but not very many things. And just recently I started listing the stuff on the website on eBay because it really wasn't getting the traffic that I liked.
Did you list it Buy It Now on eBay?
I did. I listed it because we have it on the website for Buy It Now prices, obviously. And I moved the stuff over to eBay, and one of the pieces sold within 48 hours. So I was like,
what?
It's the exposure of eBay. I mean,
yeah.
You had to have it.
I saw a little bit on Mercari. Like very little.
I cross-post on Mercari, Facebook. Wait, what am I missing? Mercari, Facebook, and Poshmark. And I use List Perfectly to cross-post. Actually, I lied. My mom cross-posts for me. I pay my mother to cross-post for me. I do not do the cross-posting. I don't see there's a question here, but I'm going to put it up.
That's true.
Jocelyn,
we do.
It's a true or false. It's a true or false question.
It's true. We had lots of fun today shopping together, but Dagny beat me, so.
Yay. Boo! I don't know. You're both here. I can't yay or boo. Deborah wants to know, Jocelyn, have you run into any meanies lately?
I have not. For the most part, people have been pleasant recently, which is always nice.
Yes, that is nice. And it's the thumbnail of my video yesterday. I had somebody basically like knock down my Lundberg pendant. And I screenshotted their messages and put them in my video because the silver was tarnished on the back that nobody would see. The glass was perfect on the glass pendant. And meanies come along, but that you can just luckily ignore at least. Okay. Elizabeth wants to know, what is a reasonable expectation turnover rate for items? Is it normal to relist a normal demand item for a month or two before it sells? Some good stuff is sitting. And I think we're all going to have different opinions on this. And this is why I like doing a panel, because we're all going to have different viewpoints on this.
Well, I do Buy It Now or Best Offer. And then some of the things that people comment on videos that they really like, I'll put that up for auction. And then if it doesn't sell in auction and I don't want it, then I put it up for a Buy It Now price that I think is fair. So I think I answered the question.
I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer this question.
No, she's not. Julian?
Because she puts everything on auction and it all sells. So her turnover rate is a week or 5 days.
7 days.
It's 5 days.
5 days.
5 days.
5 days,
Julie.
even
5
faster.
days. Not 7.
It really depends on what the item is. Like like clothing, I have a much longer in my brain how long it's going to take for that to sell, just because it usually does take longer for clothing to sell. But something that's good, like a good fishing reel or a good golf club in the spring or fall when golfing's, that shouldn't sit for 30 days. It should be about 2 weeks to 30 days out the door. It really depends on what it is. Like even a really nice Carhartt jacket, I got 2 that are sitting for a while now, over 30 days, but it's just because it's clothing and they just sell a little bit slower. So
Yeah, and I don't know what normal demand would be. What do you consider normal? I just sold 2 brochures that were sitting in my living room for 2 years. And I think if you do like rare and vintage on buy it now and you want your price, then like I'm okay with stuff sitting here a year or 2 and getting the money that I want. Like normal demand to me would probably be like a 60 to 90 day, but I don't find many normal demand. I seem to like the stuff that it takes the right buyer, which might take months to a year because I want to get the price that I want for it. But a month or 2 is not a long time, I guess is my point in that. That is not a long time in eBay time for something to sit. I don't feel like, unless you're only doing like video games and popular stuff that turns over really fast. Sean, I have, so I'm in the big shed and then I have another shed and then I have an old canning kitchen because my house is a farmhouse. So I have 2 12 by 24 areas with listed inventory and then I have this shed. But I don't want, my neighbor tried to sell me his shipping crate, like those semi-truck ones. And I'm like, no, that'll look ugly in my yard. He was going to sell it cheap and like bring it over. He wanted it out of his yard and in my yard. But
you could camouflage it.
I probably
put trees around it.
It's true.
You could paint it.
There are a lot of trees in my yard. Kelly Dill, how do you decide where you are going to thrift each week? It sounds like there may be a lot of research involved.
I go to one Goodwill every time I go to the post office because it's on the way home. And then sometimes somebody will say, you want to go here? And I'll say, sure. And then we'll go there. And then I try to find new places and then I like to go to it. And then I'll tell that person, hey, we should go to this one or don't go to that one. And that's the research I do.
Yeah. Dagny does a lot of the research. Usually when I'm deciding where to go, it's how much time do I have today and how far can I drive? And when was the last time I was there? That's usually kind of my thought process. It's really not that technical.
No.
When it comes to thrift stores, no, it's the same thing. It's just whenever I'm in the area, I'll probably go to one. But yard sales, I am intensely researching the community, how many are close,
how much are these houses worth?
Yeah, I do that. I'm looking at pictures. I'm like, because around here, I got Google Maps. I got their satellite. I'm figuring out what's going on in the area because it's so cutthroat around here with yard sales. Is you better pick the right one. You better be in the right area at the right time early. And if you pick the wrong one, you're done. Yeah, you got to be the first one there. Like a lot of times. Now, again, I'm not necessarily, but yes, that's where. And I do like Kayla gets on there. We do Google Maps. We know like times that we need to be places.
He looks very serious right now.
I'm so serious about my maps when it comes to yard sales. I do not mess around. Ask Kayla. I'm like, we need to get this done Friday night, 9 p.m. I need to know where I'm going 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's pretty intense. I get it. I'm already hyped up about it. I can't wait for Friday.
He's like, it's only Tuesday and I'm ready to go.
Tuesday, I'm ready to go. Cold, though.
I have my favorite ones I like because I know like they do dollar clothes and like I know a couple when they do half off the whole store but there's not much research. Like today I was going to go thrifting and instead I somehow my car drove me to in-person auction, which I haven't been to one in over 2 years. And it kind of took the whole day. So I didn't go thrifting at all when I planned on going thrifting today. I was at an auction all day.
Julian, did you see someone wrote that you fly a drone?
Oh, done. I'll send it from the house and I'll start flying around people's just to see what they're putting out. I could do that. I could be somewhere and send the drone someplace else. That's being done.
And scope it out. He's like, okay, I'm going to figure this out now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just, and if I go somewhere and they're really high price, I'm probably not going to go again. So I would skip them for the next time. So I keep going to the ones that I like their pricing, I guess I should say. Wendy over on Facebook, where did you learn how to look for what is valuable and what resources do you use or intuition do you reference?
I watched a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lady named Crazy Lamp Lady, and I watched her videos a lot. And I watched your videos and your videos. And then I finally broke down and bought a WorthPoint subscription, and I was worried that I wouldn't use it up. I use it all the time, and that is very, very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Well, I've been doing this a while, over 10 years, and I paid to learn a lot. So that definitely worked out. And I also would, a lot of the times I'll like look up an item, like say this Anderson pottery back here. I'll just do Anderson pottery, and then I'll do solds, and then I'll run it from highest to lowest, and I'll see which pieces of Anderson pottery are the most valuable. So when I come across them, I know, hey, I saw that one. It sold for hundreds of dollars. That's the one I would be looking for. And that's completely free to search through eBay solds. And I've learned a lot looking through eBay solds.
Yes.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, the eBay solds high to low is a super good idea. I just started doing that not too long ago, and it's pretty good. And then just like what you've done, like I fished and golfed before, and I know the brands that I really couldn't afford because they were too expensive that I wanted. They were in my shopping cart on Amazon, and then I just looked for those.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I do a lot of looking up, like looking at it and looking it up on eBay and seeing what it's selling for. And then once you figure something out, like I got all those silhouettes because I picked up a bunch when I was with Jocelyn at her flea market for $1. I did not pay $1 for those, but they sold fast for like $35. So today I was okay paying $6 and $7 because I know similar ones sell for like $35. And of course, watching YouTube is a great place. That's why I started doing my what solds, because I learned by what solds, and watching different content creators, depending on what you're looking for. You know, if you're trying to learn about a certain thing, follow somebody who's selling that and watch what they're selling. I don't watch many what solds anymore because it makes me want to go buy stuff, and I'm trying not to buy as much stuff. So, you know. Christopher wants to know, Dagny, how do you keep up with your own store and working for Jocelyn?
A lot of late nights. Early mornings.
Late night listing. I see.
Late
And I'm
night
up late
listing.
too.
Yep.
Late night
Yep.
listings.
Yes, and I homeschool my daughter, so it's a lot of. We try to do school in the morning, and she prefers doing school in the morning, and it's just juggling writing lists. What takes priority if Jocelyn has something that she wants listed right away, because I know videos of hers is coming up, and I'm getting into more of a routine. So I think I hope I'm doing
Just
okay.
when you think you have it, just wait.
She's telling me I'm doing good, so.
All right. Miss Lois wants to know, as a newer seller, how do you know when to auction something?
If if you, well, let's see. Jocelyn, would you like to answer this? To me, like if people are interested in a lot, like if it's a, like I would see on before I started my channel, and people would comment on her channel, like, oh, I like what Dagny picked up, I need to put that at auction. Or if something, there's not a lot of them, but they are good sellers, maybe. That's a good answer.
I think that's an okay answer.
Let's go.
And then also, I think someone that also said, like, even if you don't see them listed, you can still sell it well, because they haven't, because you look at ones, like you had a poster or something that hadn't been listed in a while. They hadn't had sold. There weren't any listed for a while, but you know that it sold very well. So then you knew to put it up for auction. And even though you don't see things that are for sale on eBay, that doesn't mean that they're not wanted, highly wanted. That's a terrible answer. Jocelyn, go ahead.
She's like, Jocelyn, talk.
I think as a new seller, you have to be cautious of auctions. You know, a lot of people say that we'd run $4 auctions and they go right right, for the $4 auctions, and I usually caution against that. When you're doing auctions, you really want to auction off the items that you see are like real high value or they're rare. Don't auction off items that there's a lot of them on the market. But high demand items, definitely. And when you start the auction price, pick the least amount you're willing to take for it. Don't do 99 cents. Don't do $4. Do the least amount that you would feel comfortable with. So that is my advice for auctions.
That is better advice than I.
As a newer seller, I really didn't get into auctions until like I was a little bit and kind of knew how eBay worked and everything. So I kind of wanted to figure all that out and just do it by it now. So if you're super new, it's up to you. I would steer away from them for a little bit, so you kind of get a feeling of what's kind of going on and how to do it, and you know what I'm saying, and what you think is rare and all that. And definitely do your research. But if you do get into auctions, what Jocelyn just said, list it for what you're willing to take, like the minimum what you're willing to take. And then that would be my advice. But I didn't do auctions probably for almost like the first year. And then Jocelyn was on the show, and I was like, I'm doing auctions for $4. And everything sold for $4. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's.
Yeah, I say the same. Like, I rarely. Julian's been, other way. Julian's been doing, are you still doing quite a bit of auctions?
Yeah, if I have something that I think is decent, I'll definitely throw it up there on auction. I'm not scared. I was still scared before.
I think I have three. I think I have three things on auction right now. I have a 1991 Braves Tomahawk pencil. And I figure the Braves just won the series. There's no other pencil like it. I started at $10, which I'm happy and I do have one bid, but if it sells at $10, I'm happy with $10. But I'm hoping some crazy Atlanta Braves fans are going to find my Tomahawk pencil that is the only one like it and bid on it. So rare items that are in demand, like either the brand or the item. Don't do clothes. Don't do glass that's like common glass that there's a lot of. It needs to be on the rarer side. Julian does a lot of lots of items. He does a lot of lots. A lot of lots. Yes. Deborah, Kat, I saw in a previous video you mentioned that you have moved from Bazaar to a different photo app. Real quick, yes, I have started using Photo Room because it has batch listing. So I can put 100 photos in, and I photograph 10 to 20 items at a time. I can put 100 photos in, and it goes through and does every single one of them in less than 3 minutes. It is impressive. And they had a Black Friday sale, and somebody told me about it. So yes, I've switched from Bazaar to Photo Room now. And that's the only, I loved Bazaar, but Bazaar didn't have batch and Photo Room does. So that's why I switched. Hilda Lou, if it says on eBay, I have to revise. What does that mean? I wonder if she's meaning requirements, maybe.
There's aren't the requirements due in February? Isn't that true? Maybe.
Yeah, there's a bunch on the, like, they move plates to vases and vases to plates, and there's a lot of breakable requirements that they changed.
I don't like how they require, like, I've looked at the things that are required for mine, and they're like, what is the measurement? And I was like, the measurement is in the description. I personally don't look at all those little things as a buyer. I look at the description. So it's kind of annoying. But I do know, I'm thinking if this question means, I know there are some requirements that are due, I think, in February that you have to, or they'll take down your list.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's some requirements that are required right now, even. Like sometimes I'll list something and it'll say, what type of item is it? And I have to put in bowl or something like that. So,
what is the condition? That's like it over and over.
Yeah, the only one that I've seen is the cookware. It's like, how do you cook with it, like gas or whatever, or flame? I'm
what
like,
kind
I
of
don't
stove
know.
Can this go on?
Yeah, it's compatible with. I'm like, whatever you put it on, I don't know. So, but maybe I would say it's probably flagging that it needs something else. But a lot of mine haven't been. I think that was mostly the glass and collectibles, right?
This time, this go around was a lot of glass and collectibles. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know if anybody else will. I realized I had things stolen off my porch waiting for USPS pickup. She saying she reimbursed the customer, but does she need to contact eBay due to knowing that they did not ship?
I don't know.
I would cancel the sales. And then you don't have to worry about shipping, right?
Yeah, but if she
you
cancels
contact-
them, it could put her below standard.
That's true.
I would message the buyers and then cancel, like Jocelyn's saying, is probably what. But I would put customer requested if I would offer them something else out of my store, like for a little extra. If they bought $15, I'd offer them up to $20 in my store. And if they didn't want something else, I would cancel, because at that point they said, no, I would rather you cancel. But if you if you cancel a whole day's worth, I think that could throw you into below standard, which kind of would suck.
That's my biggest fear. That's why I don't put stuff out on my porch.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, that I'm sorry to
Because
hear
that's
that. That really sucks. And it's hard. Like I'm off, 3 days a week. Well, 3 days during the week. And so I bring mine, but I can't imagine, like, if you're working a 9 to 5 and can't go to the post office, during working hours. I can't, like, where you have to leave it on your porch. That would scare me a little bit.
I would get one of those boxes. They have like those boxes where you can, like, I know I got one for the kids for all their toys outside. And then maybe you could, like, just leave a note on it so that way people going by don't see that you have a bunch of boxes out on your porch. But maybe
like the Rubbermaid. They make the Rubbermaid bench box thing. That might work. Miss Joanne, how would you try to encourage buyers to leave feedback?
I don't. So I don't ask.
I don't either.
I don't ask for them to leave feedback. I hope they do. So, and most of them do. And sometimes some of them will just message me, and that's fine too. I like hearing that the item got to them safe. So I don't ask for it. No. I figure you will.
Yeah, and same here. I don't ask for feedback. I know from purchasing things on eBay in the past, eBay sends me a reminder to leave feedback because I forget. Even though I am a seller, I forget. And I do get reminders from eBay like, hey, did you like this item? Don't forget to leave feedback. And I think I've actually gotten like 2 reminders on the same item. So I think, eBay does the work for you. But before I have to go get the kids in bed. So I'm going to just mute and turn my camera off, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Tell them I said good night.
I will. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm going
this
to answer this, I think. Oh, go ahead, Julian. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was gonna say I don't encourage them either. The only thing that I would say is that ship quickly and then pack good, and then usually where it comes in most. My feedback is good packing, fast shipping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do not encourage them either, and I don't care. Because I've learned over time. I would rather them not leave it than leave something bad. I figure if I don't hear from them, they're happy. And that's typically how it is most of the time. And I think once you get to a certain point in feedback, then I have over 3,200 feedback. So for me, where I'm at, I have plenty, whether more are coming or not. So I just leave it be. And like Jocelyn said, eBay will send reminders, so you don't have to worry about it. But I wouldn't ask for it. That's just me. Julian, I didn't even realize I hadn't answered, or you. I'm like, oh, we still have another question. Fern, and I guess I'll answer. She said every time she lists on Facebook Marketplace, they throw up a message to list it in more places. Facebook will let you put for sale in almost any group. You can mark an item for sale now. I don't know why, but when I'm listing on Facebook Marketplace, only list on Facebook Marketplace, and I skip all the groups. I don't want to put it to the groups because most of my groups are local, and I don't want to have people coming here. I don't like doing in-person sales. Julian, what platform do you use to ship golf clubs?
I sell all my stuff. Most of my golf clubs are sold on eBay, like 99.9%. And I sell them through the USPS.
I don't think I ever told you congratulations officially on getting engaged, Julian. There is Southern Pearl Thrifter, Julian's fiance, in the chat. So Julian recently got engaged to get married.
I did.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Larry, Brad has lost 65 or 70 pounds. Even though you only saw him from like the waist down in his slippers. I saw somebody else comment on his slippers, but he has lost almost 70 pounds. Laura wants to know where should she I'm guessing where should she list heavy vases over 5 pounds? Go ahead. We're all gonna say it.
Well, I mean that I probably wouldn't list that. It would be so heavy. Like it would be like that would be like a 7, 8, 7 could be a 7-pound package. I don't unless it's worth like $1 gajillion. I only sell on eBay, so I would say eBay.
Yeah, I would say eBay too. I mean, we ship a lot of glass and sometimes it is 5 pounds. You just have to make sure that you package it really well. And hope for the best.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. That I ship on eBay, and so but 5 pounds, I sell a lot of things way over 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And so 5 pounds isn't too terribly heavy.
But make sure you put packaging inside the vase. You want to stuff it so that it's structurally sound.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my kids just got home. They weren't home before, so I'm gonna go deal
You
with
went to tuck in invisible kids.
I know they weren't even home yet. I thought I heard them. But
oh, where are you? Okay,
So I'll be
go.
right back.
Okay, here's a fun question. How many pets do you have?
Ooh.
I have 4 dogs and a cat, and that is all.
I have 1 dog.
And she has 4 birds.
The invisible Jocelyn has 4 birds. Yeah. I have 4 dogs, 3 cats, 4 chickens, and 2 axolotls and a fish tank. And I used to have goats and turkeys and peacocks. And when I had Dalton, I literally had a farm. I had goats and peacocks and guineas and chickens and turkeys but that and a new baby did not work well for me. So now we just have chickens that are sleeping on the porch until tomorrow when hopefully Brad will put together their new sleeping quarters for the evening. Elizabeth, since I'm a low-rated seller, I feel like I have some items that would make more profit for a seller like you guys. Do you buy from other resellers to flip for more money?
No. Well, one time I did buy a Pendleton rabbit. Yeah. Because I had some and it was so cheap and then I thought, well, I'll buy that and I put it with the lot. I don't know why I did that. I think because it was so cheap maybe. But I don't normally do that now.
No, the only time I would do this is if I had a golf set that I was missing like a 7-iron or something weird. And the golf set was worth a good bit amount of money if I included that club as the whole set without parting it out. That'd be the only reason I didn't. I have never done that before because I sell like $300 golf sets. So no.
But I want to point out, if we're going to flea markets, right? And I love going to flea markets. Those are resellers. They're getting that stuff somewhere. So I buy from those resellers to flip for more profit. But I wouldn't say, I don't know if you mean by low rated, if you mean you have like low feedback. And in that case, I feel like you should, if you do good titles and pictures, you should be able to get as much money as we do. Jocelyn might get a little more because she has a lot more exposure than any of us. So her bids might go a little higher, but they typically fall in with market value, the ones that I've watched, and go for the average that stuff goes for, not overly above. So I would say take good pictures. And it sounds like though you want us to buy your stuff. I have a lot of stuff, too much stuff. And then I have a question for Jocelyn. So I'm going to try to remember to come back to that. Cindy wants to know if we could give some tips on how to know the buyer's a scammer. She had someone make an offer on one of her purses, but they haven't paid.
I did have a scammer, but then at the very last second I caught it. So I sold something, and then someone immediately messaged me and said, "Oh, can you send it to this address?" And they actually gave me the address. And then I said, so you want me to cancel this item? And they said, yes. And I said, and then the second, when they wrote back again, I noticed that the seller's name that bought it and the scammer, that their names weren't the same. The usernames weren't the same. So I contacted the rightful owner and I said, did you contact me about changing your address? And she said, no, I did not. And then I realized that the names were different. And I realized it was a scammer. So I did report them to eBay. But you could easily be like, oh, okay, I'll change it to that address. So I don't know if they were watching
and not see that it was a different name. Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, that mug you just sold, I need it changed. And I was like, all right. So that really made me more aware of like double check. And eBay was very nice about please report them. And they took care of the scammer. And so.
Anytime they want to like message you or have you message them off the platform, that's a big no-no. It's against like eBay policy too. But never like anytime they ask for like a phone number, email address, anything like that, everything's supposed to stay on eBay. Or changing addresses, that's always a good one. Or if they send you an offer that's more than what you're paying for or selling it for,
or equal too.
Yeah, or equal to. That's always like a good indication something's fishy.
And yeah, I can't give any more than what they've already given. The typical is going to be contact me off the platform or email me. Jane wants to know where you see your rating as a seller.
On your seller dashboard.
Yeah, the eBay seller dashboard, the overview, it has it down, I think in the bottom right-hand corner. Tom, what happens next year? The same thing that should happen this year, you should report all of your income on your taxes. Legally, any money you make should be reported whether you have a 1099 or not. But you're going to have you should report it anyway. Joanne says she loves all of our channels. Do you think starting an eBay shop and a YouTube channel at the same time would help with those early sales?
Perhaps, maybe. Julian?
No, if you're just starting out on eBay, I would just focus on eBay. Because YouTube is it takes some time. So if you're trying to get a lot of sales, I would just pump out listing after listing after listing.
Yeah, I would say YouTube takes away from eBay. It does not help you with it. Unless you, like, it took us years, except for Dagny, who was famous when she started her YouTube channel.
Instantly famous.
She was instantly famous. It takes years typically to build a YouTube channel to have a significant amount of followers, and that's going to be all time you put in that is unpaid and all time that is taking away from your eBay. So unless you're wanting to, like, you love YouTube and want to do it anyways,
right,
then do it, but do not do it as a mean to get more sales, because I think you will be sorely disappointed in the results from that. Unless you happen to go viral, which could happen. It could happen.
Could happen.
Could happen. Maureen wants to know, do we ever buy things on eBay and resell?
No.
I've never done that, no. Other than
Yes.
a golf club, but I haven't actually done it.
You bought it to replace. I do. Because, and I'm going to tell you where I get them, and this is why I tell you not to auction things, because when people see Jocelyn auctioning stuff at $4 and they start theirs at $4 and I find it and I know it's worth $50, I'm going to go buy theirs and take advantage of them thinking that auctions are okay. And a lot of times they're not. I bought paperweights. People lot up stuff too. People lot up stuff on eBay that you could find that is worth money. And I've bought stuff when I comp stuff, like I've comp stuff worth 150 and there's one on there for $25 and I'm like, what? Like, what are, and I buy it. And then guess what? The low price one's gone. And then I list mine and then I have another one coming. And when I did that, I made over $100 more than I bought it for off of eBay. And it was already packed. That was a nice thing too.
I didn't think of that.
I see a super chat. Let's scroll. And guys, we have over 1,000 people in the chat. So I will try and get through as many questions as we can tonight. Thank you all for being here and hanging out with us. We appreciate you. But I might not get to all the questions is my point. All right. Blue Owl, great panel. Kat, your videos are so helpful. Thank you, everyone. Blue Owl, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I will give you a dolphin.
Super chat.
That like echoed. Did you hear that?
Good.
She's
It was
back.
Jocelyn.
And
She
Jocelyn's
made
back.
it like wah, 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 wah. Okay, Jocelyn, I'm
Back.
sorry, but I skipped questions for you, so I'm gonna get
Oh.
them to you now.
Okay.
Katie Poe wants to know for Jocelyn, where is the new Goodwill in Frederick, and have you ever thought about selling at Sweet Clover in Frederick?
I am probably the most directionally challenged person on the planet. So I don't know where it is, but I just went to the Monocray Valley. Facebook has it all up on their Facebook page. That's how I knew there was a new one. And it's right around the corner from the old Frederick Goodwill. But there's multiple Frederick Goodwills, so you're better off just maybe looking at but it's in like a shopping center, if that helps. And I don't know what Sweet Clover is, so I have not thought about that.
Well, there's a new place to go source.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe I should check that out.
Yes. Okay, here's another one. And then that's it. That's it. There are only two. And I don't know if you want to answer this. Is the hoarder house going to be torn down or fixed up?
It is going to be fixed up. Gus and Nina bought it as an investment property, and it turned out to be a really good investment property because he's more than paid for the house and the stuff that's come out of the house. So they're going to fix it up. They're actually boxing up all of the contents right now, and I guess they're moving them to a storage facility so they can get started on the work before it gets too cold and winter. So, yeah.
Hold on, I'm hunting. I don't know if we could give just some simple tips. Obviously, this is a lot more than a simple question, but what would you recommend for people to get started?
Sell things around. Is that for Jocelyn or for
All of us,
Everybody.
the whole panel.
sell things around your house
She
that you
took
don't want? You're like,
Take your husband's stuff. No.
Yeah, that's
Make
where
sure
I
they
touched
know.
up with that.
make sure. Can I sell this? And then sell things around your house. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta do it. I mean, if you're really interested in it, just go for it. I know a lot of people are nervous about it, but you really just go for it. I mean, you do need some supplies before you get started. Like if you're going to sell something, make sure you have a box that it will fit in before you list it, because once it sells, you're going to be hunting for that box. Obviously measuring tape, maybe a postal scale.
The scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah.
And that's for,
Just
and a
go
phone.
for it. Oh yeah, but also be wary of scammers, because I have heard that scammers really do target new sellers. So if anybody asks you to contact them outside of eBay, that's usually a red flag. If they're like, "Hey, I'll send you a check," or I'll pay you, give me your phone number and I'll
cash app you.
WhatsApp you the money. Yeah, that's usually a scam.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna just mimic what they said. I started with stuff around the house, and then that gave me the ability to like look up and do what solds and go off of what solds instead of the things that are listed. And I would say the biggest thing is going to be a scale, because you can really lose on some shipping if you're not weighing your things properly, and size, like 12 by 12 by 12,
Yes.
So scale and measuring tape.
Here's the question of the night. Julian, your beard looks magnificent. Are you going to decorate it for Christmas?
Oh yeah, this me and Kayla, we were talking about it. We're gonna something's
Are you going to get
happen.
tinsel? Get some tinsel in your
I might
beard.
get some tinsel. I got enough room in there now to put some tinsel. Maybe some ornaments. Maybe some lights. I don't know.
Angie's asking me, do you have to create the coffee table or does UShip handle it? So UShip is just like a broker service. It's a bunch of freight companies that can accept your quote, and you can put how you want it shipped. Like if you want it on a pallet, they do it all. I just do for my furniture, I do blanket wrap. So they do the thick blanket wraps around them and secure them in their trailer or truck, whatever they have. And yeah, so you do not, that's why I like it. Once it gets to my house, I do nothing. I point and I'm like, hey, it's that table right there. And they come in and pick it up and take it away. I'm hunting. Hold on. Oh, this is a good question. Sean wants to know, do you guys use your phone for all of your videos too?
I do.
I do not. I have a camera.
He's fancy.
But I don't know what version of cameras it is. But I see Peter is in the chat and he can tell everyone all about my camera. He's the one who convinced me to buy it.
I also have a camera and 2 different GoPros.
Yes. And I have 2 GoPros that I use when I'm out thrifting. I tried the camera and my hand is not steady enough for camera. So I use my camera for my pre-recorded, like my what sold. I use my GoPros when I'm out. I occasionally, for some of the hauls, will still use my phone. And I only used my phone for over the first year. I did every single thing on a phone for over a year of my YouTube channel. So quite a ways. I think I saw a super chat. And Brad yells at me if I miss them. And Kevin, I think I see you there. Hi, Commonwealth Picker. I'm like scrolling, just hunting questions from the people. Somebody commented the other day and said, I hope Dalton doesn't think that the people are behind every camera, because he don't like say hi to the people. Like people are watching him. I'm going to end up missing. I'm like having a lot of scrolling. Aha. Oh, I got that one. Oh, wait. Miss Anita, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend.
Super chat.
And Miss Lucinda, I'm trying not to miss them. Thank you. We're going to do a rounded off.
Super chat.
Thank you, guys. I think that was it. I'm trying to keep up. Julian, tell me if I miss any.
No, you've been doing pretty good.
Okay, I'm trying to pay attention. Here's a good question. How often do you source?
A lot.
But you're really picky, I have to say. Like, and not in a bad way. You don't pick up a ton. Like, I think I have to fill a cart when I go.
That's
When I first started hanging out with Jocelyn, and then it would be like my bill would be $12.
yeah. And I'd have to,
And-
I'd have to pure pressure.
Yeah, and
her
then-
into doing stuff.
Yeah. Then the other day it was like 40 something. She's like, I'm so proud of you.
That is great.
It's true. I try to source only 2 or 3 days out of the week. I don't source on the weekends. I just go Monday through Friday. The weekends I have with my family. But I try to do 2 or 3. It depends on how many different locations I can hit in one day. And so when I plan my trips, like where I'm going, I like to say, okay, well, if I go here, I can go to this Goodwill and I could go to that antique mall and I can get 3 videos this day and try to like get myself ahead. So closer to the end of the week, I can do more administrative boss lady type stuff. So
I actually am completely opposite. I usually only in the last couple of months, I've only sourced on the weekends. Maybe like a Friday too, but then Friday, Saturday, and I buy enough that will keep me going for like almost at least 4 days.
I go typically I only go like once a week, sometimes twice. Like Tuesdays have been when I typically go, but I went to the auction today. And then if not, like sometimes Fridays I'll go. But I've been wanting to go to yard sales. I've been wanting to mix it up a little bit, which means I'll start going probably. I like going to yard sales on Fridays though, because a lot of people do the whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. And I feel like a lot of people work Fridays. So if I can go Friday, then there aren't a ton of people there.
You did get a super chat.
I saw it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get one more question. Does anyone use Maxsold?
No.
No.
I've used it twice. It's not like overly used in my area. When I do my live member sourcing though, this past weekend, one of my members out in California had nothing on high bid. So I pulled up Maxsold and we found like 3 sales for her. So I think that's really location dependent on which auction site your people are using. Pat wants to know how we keep track of what we buy and sell.
I keep everything in the house and we have a shed. And so recently I started doing it more often, and it's just really helped because I kind of know where everything is, but there are those panicky days where you're wandering around the house, but I know where it is. It's somewhere here. And so what I do is I wrap the things up and then put a Post-it note over what it is, and then I write it on the outside of the box, and then I cross it off. And that does help me know what I'm doing, but I don't keep track of, like, I don't have a spreadsheet of what I bought, what is sold. I don't do that. I'm thinking more of that's an inventory question, but
yeah, I would track it by like through what I'm doing on QuickBooks, like what I'm bringing in, but I don't do per item. Same thing. I don't have a spreadsheet. And then my inventory is kind of like that. It's kind of like out in the open, and everything is together in kind of like the same things, like Santa Clauses. All the Santas are together. And so I usually have, like today I was doing a video and I was walking around looking for something. I was like, I have no idea where this is. So I walked around the house for a long time with my camera going, I just don't know. I did find it though. So, but I lot things up that are similar.
Yeah, I just do money in, money out. I don't keep track individually. I know I will sometimes look up like past invoices if I forget what I bought something on an auction, but typically I know if I'm cheap. I'm not, people hate when I say I'm cheap. I feel like I'm cheap and I don't feel like that's a bad word. I'm frugal, and I know I wouldn't pay very much for some items. My high dollar items, I know I'm going to remember. If I paid $750 for my Kappa Di Monte Disney piece, I'm not going to forget that. So I just do money in, money out. Jocelyn, how do you keep track of what you buy and sell?
We don't really. We just look at our accounting at the end of the month and see that we're in the green, and we're happy with that.
Yeah. This is another question that I think we might have differing opinions on. Lisa says, sell everything or hone in on a specific niche?
I don't sell everything. I like to do more vintage things, but then I've sold more contemporary things too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would call my niche glass and pottery, but I will occasionally buy other things. So I'm not super picky. If I like it, I'll usually buy it. And if I can make a profit on it, I like that too. So if I know there's money to be made there, I'll usually buy it. As long as it's not electronics.
Not tested.
I think that you should have a couple things that you're fairly good at, and you can always, make money. Like I'm good at fishing equipment and golf clubs. So they would be, but I like selling an array of things. Like if I think that it can make money, I comped it out correctly, then I'll pick up literally anything.
And I think the biggest thing is what can you source and find. I would love if I could only find vintage and glass and pottery. Unfortunately, that's not readily available in my area. So like I also have come to love like vintage linens and cross stitch because I find that where I am. So you could want to do a specific niche all you want, but if you can't find that stuff, it would make it very difficult. And that's why I sell everything, literally. Pretty much, if it's legal, I will sell it.
It's legal.
You know,
disclaimer: if it's legal,
if it's legal. But that because I don't find anything regular. Like finding these silhouettes, I'm like so proud of them. That's why they're like right there. That like I hadn't found any until I was in Pennsylvania at the flea market. Like I had gotten a couple off auction, but like in Pennsylvania is the first time I saw them in person, you know, while I was out somewhere. And then today I happened to come across a estate that had a silhouette collection. I looked through the pictures. That's how I ended up at the in-person. I still get the emails. I hadn't been in 2 years. And I'm like, I think I might go thrifting in that city tomorrow. Let me see what's at the auction. And then I saw the silhouettes and then I went to the auction, didn't go thrifting. So, you know, but as long as you research, I think you're okay. And you have to like it enough to list it. I will say that, like Jocelyn said, electronics, like if there's something you like would get it and then like despise listing it, which means it might get left in a pile for a long time, then I would skip it. Carol wants to know, is there one collectible that you're looking for and that you have to have?
Well, Jocelyn and I were just saying glassy baby.
yeah, I think to resell it's glassy babies for sure. Did you want to say something else, Dagny?
Well, I was the loose side candlesticks because I've listed some of yours. I thought, oh, it'd be so neat to find these. And then I found 3 sets now. So now I'm like, man.
Okay, I found them. I'm good.
Like old news. I find these all the time, really.
Well,
Yeah, I think the glassy babies would be fun to find for resale. But for myself, I really want an orange Hager Winky cat. That is on my list of things that I would keep for myself for a little while.
To save for myself, would anything be from the first Jurassic Park, like a T-shirt? I got a couple hats back there that are like the originals from 1993, and like even the dinosaurs that are stamped Jurassic Park, like the originals.
I would like to find Fire and Light, but to resell. I'm not a collector. I'm not very much a collector. I have revolving collections though, like my Kachinas that I love. They're displayed right next to me on my shelf on the desk. But they're all for sale, but they're long tail. So I get to look at them sometimes for a year until they go to their new home. And then when they get low, I will go buy more Kachinas to sit on my shelf. Hilda Lou, if you use a cross post company, do you have to enter it to eBay first? Or if you enter it to eBay, will it go to Mercari? So I think I'm the main one cross posting. I have just started now. I list on eBay and I have my mom put it into List Perfectly. And then she goes to List Perfectly and puts it out to Mercari, Poshmark, and Facebook, because now I can hit one button to end it on all 4 platforms, which is beautiful. That's what I should have done different as a reseller. Because now I have 3,300 items that are not like that, but we are starting. I told mom, I'm like, well, I'd have to delete all of our listings on the other platforms. And the look she gave me was not very nice. So we'll just start doing it from here on out. And I showed Brad. Now I told Brad when he ships, if it says LP, to go delist it off the other platforms. And he did today. So I'm getting a system. I'm very bad about letting go control of things, which makes me have to do more work. And I'm trying to get a little better at that. Let me see. Marisol wants to know, how do you control the urge to keep a lot of your finds? There seems to be a fine line of whether to keep or sell.
I don't really feel that I keep a lot of my finds. When I found the Fenton Santa head, I knew I wanted to keep that. And so then my husband said, well, we'll keep it for now, but you're going to sell it. I said, well, we'll see. So that I don't really, it's very few and far between that I feel like I want to keep something.
It's hard. I find a lot of things that I really like, but I just remind myself that I can't keep everything. I have a nice collection of Anderson pottery that has grown out of control, and Hager lamps. And, you know, it is kind of a revolving collection because I look at some of my lamps and I'm like, maybe it's time to get rid of some of my Hager lamps. So I don't know. I guess I want to keep things, but in the future, I keep in mind that, you know, I'll let this go eventually. And I do.
Yeah, mine's more like, oh, this is really nice, but I gotta pay the mortgage this month. And I know this will sell so fast. The stupid mortgage comes around every month, and I have to pay it. And it's or like a golf club. I'll actually go play with the golf club for a while. Boo, hit a couple rounds, do terrible with it, and then sell it. I'll be like, this thing doesn't work. I can't believe people buy this for $300. So crazy. It's like hitch to the right.
Yeah, I think fighting the urge, like the revolving collection, like I have my display shelf with like my favorite stuff. It's like 8 foot long and 4 tier. I think you could even put it like out in your house, and like some of my stuff says like kitchen windowsill because I have like a vase I like in the kitchen windowsill until it sells. So you could do a revolving collection. And I mean, it depends on your purpose. Are you reselling like us to pay our bills? Or are you reselling for fun? In which case you could keep more of it if you didn't need the money. But like I use it to pay my bills as well. Strong Heart Stone. I would think having items up on eBay for months or years would be expensive. If that's correct, how does one make money selling inexpensive items?
These are hard questions.
That is a hard question. These have been tough this round.
Wow. Usually it's like, yes, no, 3.
This is like expert round. I'm not qualified for this.
Jocelyn doesn't count because she keeps stuff up for 5 days and then it's gone.
Well, all I'm thinking is that when I first started, and you could have so many free listings, I forget what it was. So I never went over that free listing because I didn't want to pay the 30 cents. And then like towards the end of the month, I would run out. So I couldn't like list for like the last week. And then I got the basic store, and then I forget how many you get there. And then I knew, oh, I can have as this much. And now I have the, do I have the basic store? I don't remember what I have, but I won't ever go past what the free listings are now. So I think that helps. So I feel like if it's relisting, I feel I'm not paying because I'm already paying a subscription. So I could see if you didn't have a store and you were relisting things for years and years and years, that would be pricey after a while. That's all I can really think of. These questions are too hard.
That was a good answer.
Thank you, Julian.
That was solid.
And we made you go first, so you're double
because I was
whammied with
thinking,
the
I was
hard
like,
questions.
oh man.
You can't cheat off of your neighbor. You have to go first.
I do that all the time.
Julian's like, yeah, what they said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really not qualified to answer this because I don't have items listed for very long. I like to get things in and get them out and keep them moving because I like to have money to spend on more things.
Yes.
So,
and I'll say what Dagny said about the store, the subscription would be the correct answer on this one. Would be like as long as it's covering that free and you're just paying the subscription, and it's like $60 that I pay, or it's a mid one or whatever.
Yeah, $59.99.
Yeah, and you should be
but
selling.
We can list up to 10,000 items a month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it's not expensive selling those because for $60 we get 10,000 listings. And so if they sit there for 2 years, it doesn't matter because I'm paying them $59.99 whether I have 1,000 or 4,000. So it doesn't cost me money as long as I have that store subscription. And I'm going to follow up and just real quick, Jim Lee is asking about the store. You can get a free store and then it's like $9.99 and then I think it jumps to the $59. I don't think there's a middle, right? Or is there a middle? Does anybody know?
I think mine's like 20 something. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe there is a middle. Um, so Cindy, if you have a store, you have under the amount of items, you're not paying a
30 cents.
repetitive fee. It's just covered under your store. Jocelyn, did Andrew get Juliet her new COA?
Well, her coat. Her coat was broken this morning, and I didn't realize
I
that it
missed
wouldn't
that.
zip up. And it's like 30
Aw.
degrees here in the morning. So I told her after school we'd go get her a coat, and I sent Andrew with her to get the coat. And the reason he was blowing up my phone when I was live was because they had no more coats at Kohl's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he said something to the lady, and she's like, "Oh, they must have sold out." Okay.
Of coats in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, of coats. So he had to go over to Target and find her a coat. But he did. He found her one. He understood the assignment, and he got it done.
That's a TikTok thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
See?
yeah,
I did it there.
yeah, huh?
Told you,
I
I'm
don't know.
working really hard on it.
I'm like Julian though, like I will sit there, like if I open TikTok, I'm gonna be sitting there, and they know the algorithm is smart. They know what I want to see, and they're going to show me it over and over and over, and I just will never get off of TikTok.
Yeah, I do that on Instagram Reels every night. I'm like sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing? I should be sleeping.
But I'm scrolling on TikTok. Mike wants to know how long or how much do you have to sell before eBay just gives your money to you? There's a rule, and I don't know it. I don't know if anybody else does. I know for new sellers, and because I've had people commenting, they're holding money for 30 days for some people if they're new. And you have to reach a certain threshold of how many sales you have to stop that 30-day hold. Does anybody know what that threshold is?
I forget what that is. But when I first started out, I remember they used to hold my money, and then I forget though. I'm sure that you could search under the help and contact area, and they probably have an article.
Or contact eBay for Business on Facebook
Mhm.
too, and ask them what do you need to meet to not have your money held, maybe. Yep. Laura, the packaging for standard delivery is exactly the same as what you would use for shipping in the US. There's nothing different about the packaging. Tammy wants to know if any of us use the volume pricing, like I guess to like up and down our prices of everything.
No, I don't think so. Like if you have a lot of one thing.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean like of everything.
I don't understand.
I will say, so I use that. So you can go edit, like I have 3,600 listings, you can edit 2,000. And this was another question I saw. So this is answering that at the same time. To refresh your listings, if you're doing buy it now, you can like raise the price by a penny or lower the price by a penny. And that refreshes your listings. And that's when I use the volume pricing. So I'll edit 1 through 2,000. And then I'll put increase price by 2 cents or decrease price by 2 cents. And that like kind of supposedly boosts your listings.
I didn't know that either.
I only do it when my sales are slow and I feel like I need to do something to try and help besides listings. But it takes like 5 minutes and you can like increase or decrease by a penny or two. And yeah. So Colleen is asking, does that mean if someone purchases and cancel, it goes against your rating? No, it does not. If you say buyer requested to cancel, that is the only reason that will not count against you. Because if you put out of stock or damaged, it's a ding on your eBay account. Let me see. I'm having to scroll to find questions. Oh, here's one from Miss Nan. Do you put a thank you card inside of the package?
I have a small business card that's very small, and I write thank you, and I sign it, and That's what I put in my package.
We do not. It's something that we've talked about and something that we've wanted to do, but every time we think about it, and we like try to come up with something, we can't agree on it. So we have yet to do that.
I do not, but if you are a viewer and you like send me a message, I usually write thank you on the package. And I've been sending out these Snap-on paperweights for free if you buy something. Sometimes it all
As a
depends on
gift.
shipping.
If
As
you're
a
a
gift,
viewer,
yeah.
you get a free
Yeah, I
paperweight
have
because
so many.
Julian has hundreds of them.
Yeah, so through this entire like month, I've been just sending them out.
Here, have a free paperweight. You
Free
and
paperweight.
you and you.
Paperweights for everybody.
This is kind of related. Do you put a packing slip or invoice inside the package?
I do not, because when I bought stuff, I didn't need one. So I don't have a printer. I only have a Rollo printer. And so I don't have a place to print out a packing slip. So I do not.
Yeah, we don't either.
No.
I don't either. I'll tell you, I've been buying a few things off eBay for like Christmas and stuff, and most of them have it. And I'm really surprised because I thought everybody just didn't put it in. But most of mine have had them, and I'm like, oh, huh. I mean, I don't want it, so this is for everybody but Jocelyn. Do any of us have a booth besides Jocelyn at a market anywhere?
No.
No.
That was pretty easy.
No. Grandma's Joy, thank you very much. Great lineup today. We are happy to be here. T Peddler, Julian, what are the proper size of boxes for golf clubs?
They got the whole big thing going on now with the size thing. I'm going to switch to a 5x5x48 and cut it down and send it UPS now, starting whenever. But usually it all depends because a putter is 35 inches and some drivers can be 48 inches. And I use the 6x5 or 7x6. It really doesn't matter until you get up above like 53 inches, I believe. So,
Yeah,
but I'm switching to a 5x5x48 and then cut it down to size.
perfect. This is a good question. Carrie over on Facebook. If you have a set of matching items, do you list them together or separate?
I would say for the most part together.
Well, that depends on how our team lists them. Sometimes I don't feel like saying, hey, can you actually combine those two items that you listed separately? So occasionally I'll just let them go. Like today we had 2 Otagiri owls that were listed separately and they were supposed to be a set. So I did ask them to fix that. And we had 2 pictures that were listed separately that probably could have gone together. So it really depends on how they're listed because sometimes I just don't feel like bugging them to ask them to combine them. But I'm not very good at communicating, hey, list these together or list those together. So they kind of just do what they think is right. So I really can't blame them for that. And yeah. And also, when we get big sets, we had a huge set of Nippon beautiful porcelain. It was like a
I'm gonna put this up.
Teapot.
So because this is another one right under it, and I'm assuming you're talking about it now.
Yeah. So we had this beautiful set, and like the coffee pot alone was worth $200-$300. It was really expensive and really fragile. So we made the decision to split that up. Not because we really wanted to split up the set, but because we wanted to make sure that it could be delivered safely. Because if you get too many of those fragile items in one box, no matter how big the box it is, the risk of them breaking definitely increases. So,
Yes.
that's my answer.
When I think
So
of it, I
Julian,
think of sets
if you
of
have
tools.
2 matchies, that was the first part of it. If you have 2 matching, do you sell together or separate?
Yeah, like in the tool world, no, it'd have to be like a run of wrenches for at least 5 for me, or if not, I would part them out. So like consecutive wrenches or even sockets. And then golf clubs, no, I would have to have a bottom set or a top set of the iron set or the entire set. And if I don't, I'm parting all that out too.
And I look at like the pricing, if they're worth more individually, like if somebody wants to replace something, then I will list individually Now, if it's like a 2-piece, like the Huggy Bear salt and peppers is what comes to mind at first. Those, of course, I'm going to put together. But dish sets, I don't ever do more than 4 pieces at a time because of packing. I have had people usurp my doing that and go buy the whole set, buy plates and cups, and had to ship them in multiple boxes. Somebody bought like a whole set, and I was happy. It was like a $600 sale, but I wasn't happy having to pack like 30 something pieces of china. And I think we ended up in 3 boxes, but then they're not like surprised that they're having to pay for 3 boxes. So yeah. Jersey Gypsy wants to know, Julian, is your pup all healed from surgery?
He's all healed up. He's got to go to the vet on Thursday for more blood work. So he's just getting older. It's just an older dog. So
Yes. And my 2 went and got spayed and neutered. So they had surgery yesterday. Not the one that's in here running around. They're our golden retriever and one of our other little ones got fixed. Not this one. Laura wants to know, at what point did you decide you could do this full time?
I retired from teaching, and then I was homeschooling Jenny, and then I started selling things that people didn't care that around the house that I could sell. So I feel like I do it full time now, just because I could. My husband has a job that has our insurance, so that helps too.
I decided I could do it full time when I quit my job and told all my bosses that they could take the bagel cart and shove it up their, you know what? And decided, you know what? I should probably figure out what I'm going to do with my life now. And so I started reselling full time.
I was actually just kind of saying the same thing. I noticed I could do this full time when I was really sick of my other career, and I was like, I'm done. Last day, I'm out. And I did plan, just make sure you can have enough income coming in, or a little, nest egg or whatever, in case something happens. But that was the point of me where I was just like, I'm done with this other job, and this is way more fun.
Right.
It is, and it's not like working if you like it. It's not like work when, like, I love hunting stuff. I just need to learn to love listing stuff a little bit more. And for me, it was just when I was so stressed and didn't want to go to work. And I actually 4 weeks ago switched my job and took a pay cut to go to another position because I didn't want to go to work anymore. And now I like going to work because, yeah. And I'm not getting paid as much. I'm still doing 2 days a week, but I decided if I didn't want to go to work, I needed to change something, whether that was going into like this completely full time. But I don't have a husband that has, I have a husband, but I don't have one that has benefits at a job. The benefits are through me. So I decided to take a pay cut and do a position I like better. So now I'm happy going to work, and yeah. Carol's talking about I loved our guineas, and Brad did not love our guineas because our guineas, if you know what guineas are, they're like, they're very loud, and they like to do that outside of our bedroom window, like early in the morning. And Brad did not like, I really like the guineas, but Brad did not like the guineas. Jane wants to know, where's the best place to sell just a few items? She's not trying to be a full-time reseller.
I only sell on eBay, so I would say eBay, but
I think it would depend on if you're like just trying to get rid of stuff, or you want real value for it. I think Facebook is a great place to get rid of stuff, but eBay is probably your better bet if you want to make some money doing it. I mean, you make some money with Facebook Marketplace.
You have more people watching on eBay.
Depends on your area too.
I'm not a super fan of Facebook Marketplace. It hasn't worked for me.
If I mean, eBay obviously because it has a bigger audience, but I think Mercari sometimes is actually easier to post on, and the shipping's a
Yeah.
little easier and stuff like that. So Mercari could be an option too.
Yeah, I think Mercari is probably one of the easier to list on, like for newbies, because there's less stuff to fill out, and they make it a little bit easier. Jocelyn, as the only Apple user on the panel, no, Julian has an Apple computer. Can you recommend an Apple compatible thermal printer?
I'm really bad at printing stuff. I just usually send it to Andrew and say, "Can you print this?" So, I don't have an answer for that. He has
Julian,
an
do you
Android.
link your Dymo with your Apple?
I don't have an Apple computer.
I
have
thought
a
you had an
HP.
Apple.
Kayla has an Apple. I don't.
Kayla, tell us what. Kayla, help.
Nope.
Joanne saying she's had 2 people win a bid on eBay. I'm assuming 2 items, and neither of them have paid. What should she do?
eBay has changed the thing that after, I think it's 4 days, they will cancel the sale, and you'll get an email saying, you successfully canceled the sale. And then it scares you because you thought, no, I didn't. But they do it for you now. But when I first started, you'd have to open up a case. And so now they cancel the sale, and then you can relist it.
They
So,
don't relist it for you.
No, you have the opportunity to relist it.
Yeah.
So what I do is I will wait like 2 days and then send them a reminder, like I'm ready to ship your item, and then I will wait like maybe 1 more day and send the invoice. And then after that, if they don't pay, then there's really nothing you can do because it'll be canceled eventually.
Yeah.
We don't have our unpaid set to automatic, so we actually have to go in and manually unpaid and cancel the sale, basically. So it's the same as what Dagny said, only ours isn't set up to automatically close and cancel the sale when it's not paid for. So depending on whether you have it turned on or turned off, you just have to check on that. But the reason we don't do it is because we have some people who, their payday is in 6 days and they want to pay. And sometimes we'll make exceptions for that. Other times we will not. But it just depends on if they, are a regular buyer or whatnot. So we just do it all manually.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. That was perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing you can really do. Glenn, how my business cards turned out great, but I'm not going to show them because they have my phone number, because I had to go edit out because my smart self put my phone number on a live for thousands of people. And Richard yelled at me. Richard, I'm going to highlight Richard, who helps me a lot, said, "Kat, what the?" And then I had to pull the video down because sometimes I don't think. Sometimes I don't think. Heidi's hodgepodgery. And then we're going to start the quick fire. And I am 52 minutes behind. So we are going to miss some questions this week. I'm sorry. I have to work at 7 a.m. for 12 hours tomorrow. So how do you juggle inventory, buying and selling ratios when you have to list every day for the algorithm?
Well, I don't like being in the first spot.
It's a tough one.
Okay,
Today's
next
the
time
hardest
we will
one.
not put you in.
Yeah,
the
today's
hot
rough.
spot.
These are like I just do it. Like I know when I have boxes for Jocelyn, I know I need to get a certain amount done to that she needs her stuff done. I know that I need to list my, like, I know it sounds mean, but I'm like, I just do it. Like, what you need to do, what needs to be listed, what you want, what's coming up, like Christmas is coming. So if you have Christmas items, I'm making sure all my Christmas stuff is out. I don't want to sound flippant, like you just do it, but you kind of, like for me, I just have to do it. I have to make sure she can get her stuff done. I get my stuff done, and that you do have to list every day. I feel you have to list every day to keep your store active and people interested.
My answer is that I have a wonderful team that helps me. It wasn't always that way, but it definitely helps with the volume that we do now. But like Dagny said, you know, when we were doing it by ourselves, Andrew and I, it was just we knew what we had to do. And I think back then I was doing 10 listings a day myself, you know, just getting them up and making sure that we stayed active and trying not to let my buying get ahead of things because I was putting out videos. So it's definitely a juggle, especially when you have to put out videos of, you know, people want to see you outsourcing. So when you're bringing in a lot of volume, it adds a different kind of layer to that. But yeah, I'm fortunate enough now to have a team that helps me keep on top of things.
I did list every day for a certain point. Then it got to a certain, I think it was like around 1,700 items or 1,500 items where really I can list every other day and I still get about the same sales. I really don't see a big drop in sales until I hit like 3 days without listing and they straight down, like completely straight down. So some days like Saturdays, I don't list on Saturdays and sometimes not on Fridays either because I'm outsourcing the entire day, yard sales, auctions, whatever it is I'm doing those days. So I might sell a similar, like refresh a couple, but other than that, I don't do that. Then I list the rest of the days.
Yeah, I'll take pictures at night typically, and then when I wake up in the morning before Dalton's running around crazy, I'll get at least like 5 or 10 done in the morning to make sure I have some. I have my niece helping me, but she's actually out of town for the holidays this week. But days I know she's coming now, I don't worry as much about it because I know she's going to get like 20 plus drafts for me, so I don't have to worry as much. But it's like Dagny said, it's just doing it and it's prioritizing what's, you know, like I would say shipping is more important than listing because you got to get those items out to make sure you're in good standing with eBay. So I'm not like Julian though. That guy like packs the night before. I pull at like 1 p.m. and then I pack and then I'll do whatever else I need to do. But I do packing before I do other stuff. I'm going to grab a couple super chats and then we'll do the quick fire round. Look, I can do this. Watch. How you like that, Dagny?
That is
Whoa.
perfect.
Whoa, wait
Whoa.
a second.
You're number one. You're
That
number
seems
one.
unfair.
Jocelyn wasn't expecting that. She's like, whoa.
She's like, what did you just do?
What just happened?
Just a click of the mouse.
I didn't know I could do that forever. And then one night we like got all mixed up and I was like, what the heck? Michael Nakoma Fine says happy Hanukkah and thank you for all of you guys and what you do to help the community. Michael, here is
Super chat.
and Richard, who I'm going to tell on right now. Richard messaged me on Facebook Messenger and told me I owe him $2 for the super chat because I hadn't got to it yet. Richard,
That's funny.
Richard, I'm still going to give you a dolphin. I'm behind. There's 1,000 people. I'm trying. Here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
I'm oh, okay. Last one, last super chat. I mean, I'm not going to argue if you send more, but this is the last one I have to get. Renee is saying that her thermal, she's answering a question from before and giving me a super chat to answer. Renee, thank you. Says her wireless Brother QL works great with her iPad and her iPhone. See, there are some compatibility things with Apple stuff that I feel would be beneficial, but I've never used it, and I feel like there's a learning curve. I'm talking with a pen. I need to put the pen down. I feel like there's a learning curve. She says, thank you, Kat, and others for doing a great job tonight. You guys are great. Renee, thank you. I am going to give you this. Here you go. And then we're going to have 5 minutes. And maybe Jocelyn won't kill me after for putting her in a hot seat. Okay, here.
Super chat.
Meanie. I'm scrolling. We're definitely not getting through all the questions, guys. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to start to where I scrolled. Until I find questions. Hold on. I have a few small items that are not selling. Would it be a good idea to lot them together and do an auction?
Without knowing what the items are, it's hard to say, but we have done that in the past. We've had lots of little figurines and we've just lotted them, like things together, and, just make sure when you start your auction, you do it at the least amount you're willing to take.
I agree. I did it with I do it with Wade Whimsies, and I did it with some Christmas stuff I got at an auction. But like she said, it's important to put the minimum amount you're happy with. Don't do 99 cents. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I do it all the time with like little sockets and wrenches that don't match.
And just make a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Jocelyn, it's good you're first. I think you're the only one with a vendor booth.
There you go.
They say if they see another vendor that has a similar item in the same mall, should they price their item for lower?
This is a good question, because I actually had a coffee table in my booth, and I noticed someone else had it cheaper, and I'd already made the tag and everything after I moved it in, and I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it this way for now, and it actually did sell. So I don't know if they sold theirs and then mine was the only one remaining. I never looked, but I mean, it's sold. So, sometimes people don't see all the booths or they don't see everything. So I guess just put it in and see how it goes.
Boatman. Yes. Julian has been my co-host for almost 1.5 years now. That is him. Unless he decides to go fishing and leave me, which he does occasionally, but it's okay. Yeah. He's allowed to have breaks. So occasionally he's not here, but 95% of the time for the last 1.5 years, Julian is sitting right there. Hold on. The questions are so spaced out. My super fast round's not very super fast, is it?
There's time to think.
Yeah.
Christina, I don't know if you're asking everyone else, because everyone on this panel is on the East Coast. We're all on the East Coast. Maybe you'll find some West Coast friends in the chat. I have a lot of people that are in the West camp. Yeah, Boatman, here you go. And it's also down in the description, but now I switched the two of them, so that might throw you off a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm not used to having to scroll this far for questions. Oh, Cassandra, do you use Instagram to sell? Why or why not?
I use Instagram to promote what I'm doing, but I don't sell on Instagram.
I don't sell on Instagram either.
I don't either.
I don't on purpose, but Dagny posts her late night listings all the time, and that points people to the store. So you can use it to I use it to promote too.
Yeah, I guess I'm promoting, but I'm not like saying,
yeah,
what's this?
You want it? That's what Marley kept doing yesterday, because after his surgery, he's like, pet me. He kept slapping me with his paw. Hello, lady. So yeah, I sold, somebody messaged me on Instagram, but because they saw it in a YouTube video, so I not directly. Dagny, how many days? Look, you can't get out of the first seat here. How many days? I'm assuming a week. Do you work for Jocelyn? Is what they're wanting to know.
If I have boxes, I work every day for her and me, but I try to get her boxes done, because then I feel like I got my homework done, and then I can I can do my things. But I list every day, so it's either for me or her. Depends if I have her stuff. Right now, I don't have any of her stuff, but she's going to give me more. Right.
She's
so
like, just wait.
Yeah.
So. Do you do free returns on international sales?
We do no returns, but we will make exceptions if items not as described or something like that.
I don't do returns either.
I do returns, but I use the global shipping program, and I've never had anything returned, so I don't know if that would be free.
I've had them try once with like the not as described thing where it was forced, but I think I have mine on, but I haven't really got many. Like I think I've only got one ever international return. Odalali Shop, do you ever sell unframed artwork? And if you do you roll them like posters? And do you spend extra for archival quality packing paper?
I don't know how our shipping team ships unframed stuff. So
I would think that I would roll it if I would. I think I would roll it in a tube and let that be known in the listing. I would think, but I don't really do that. So
I don't do that either.
And all of mine have been framed. I've sold some, like, I've sold posters that are rolled like posters, but I would think that if I did, I actually had somebody ask me to take a poster. It was a $300 vintage Lamborghini poster. They asked me to take it out of the frame so they could get shipping cheaper because they were international. So in that case, I did, and I rolled it in a tube. This is a fun question. If you sell lots of stuff, what do you look at first in the thrift store?
Well, our thrift stores are color coded, our Goodwills. So it's
I
really a
love
matter
that.
of what color is our favorite that day, or how many people are in the aisle, because Dagny and I are known for skipping aisles where there's lots of people and coming back later. So I personally like the brown section. I find some good stuff in the brown section. But I'm not sure about Dagny. What's your favorite color?
thanks for asking. I like the brown section too, and then I like the blue and green section, and I saved the white section for last.
Yeah.
Huh. We don't have any type of colors at the
Oh, that
Goodwill.
would be so
That's
crazy.
We don't either.
Yeah, no, I go to the golf club section, and
There, see?
then the shoe section would probably be my second.
And it depends on the store, because I know which stores have good breakables and I know which stores have good clothes. So for me, it depends. And I saw their color-coded Goodwills, and they are lovely. And I have nothing
Really?
like that at all in Florida, I will just say. Nothing at all. Pamela wants to know if we sell under private listings. And I think everybody's stores are public, if I'm correct. We can go around.
No, ours are sold, or ours is set to private, and that's something that we decided
Like
to do
after it sells?
Well, I don't know exactly how it works, but like we've had people commenting on it before. But basically, when people are bidding on it, it hides all the people's usernames. And I think when they leave feedback, it hides their username as well. And the reason we decided to do that is because we actually had somebody contact one of our buyers on Facebook knowing that they'd purchased something from us, which was crazy. And she was upset because she's like, how did they get my name? They thought we gave it to her or something. And we were able to figure out that her username on eBay was her actual name. And so somehow they were able to figure out how to contact her on Facebook, which was weird. So Andrew says a lot of the times coin sellers, people who sell currency on eBay, they do the private listings to hide people's identities. And he decided it was a good idea for us to do. So that's something we're doing right now. I don't know if we'll continue to do it or not. We do get people contacting us saying something's fishy here. Why are they private? And I'm like, I don't really need to explain myself to you. And I just
but you can still see what you sold, though. You can see what you sold and for how much. You just can't see people's names. So some people hide like their sold listings. You can still see your sold listings.
Oh yeah,
though,
you
right?
can still see our solds. I'm pretty certain you can.
Yeah. I think because I looked, I was like nosy on the Lundberg base. I know.
Yeah.
And I could see it.
Yeah, you should be able to see. I think it's just the user that you can't see, or whoever bought it. It's just private or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't sell under private listing.
Neither do I.
Me either. All right. I'm gonna put this up and take it down. Her name is Jocelyn. They asked what is your real name?
Oh.
Her name is Jocelyn. I see people commenting like Facebook and eBay. Okay, we're gonna take one more question. One more question. That's too hard. Well, like
no hard ones. Not with me. And
I'm not. I'm looking.
Give me an easy one.
There are a lot. Like tonight was some serious, hard questions.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through a lot of. They are on it. Hold on. They're just hard. I'm gonna pick one more. I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. This is not working. I don't know. Here, I'm gonna
That's
cheat,
easy.
and I'm gonna. This is an easy question. I have had Canadian guests, Chris, Thrift BCQ, and JF, Resale Heroes. Both are Canadians. So yes, I would definitely have on Canadian guests. I will tell you I am booked through, I believe, the end of January right now. I'm pretty booked up. But if you email me, I am up to that. Here, another easy question, and then we're done. This for Jocelyn.
Oh.
Look, Dagny, you got off. She's so much happier in that seat. Do you notice this? She's like,
That first seat was stressful today.
They're like, Dagny's so stupid.
They were hard questions.
They were hard questions tonight.
It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still metal detect? I do occasionally when I have free time, but that is very rare. So I haven't been metal detecting since the spring, which is quite a while. But I think I did put out a few videos this spring, and I was hoping to do more metal detecting here in the fall. But it was just crazy and hectic, and metal detecting is my hobby and reselling is my job. So it kind of takes, precedence.
Yes. All right. There's everybody's names. Now we will all say goodbye. We're over a little bit. We normally do 2 hours. So thank you both. Dagny, I'm sorry I made you stay there until the last 10 minutes. The questions were hard tonight, even ones that I didn't get to. So if we didn't get to your questions, we are live. Now I have to go look because I always forget to look at who's on the next week. We are live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can come back, put your questions in early. Let's see. Next week is North Carolina, NC Picker, and Regina Michelle. So that'll be a great show. Mm-hmm. So I will let the ladies say their goodbyes. And if you guys have anything, well, Jocelyn does daily videos like I do. Julian, are you still doing every day?
Well, I'm starting. No, it's usually every other day.
He's like, well, maybe no.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
All right, Jocelyn, say goodbye.
Yeah. Well,
and then
thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the questions. We get a lot of the same questions over and over again, but it was a lot of variety this evening. You know, they were hard questions. But
they were very hard.
Thank you, Kat and Julian, for having me on. I put out videos 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So look for them.
Our next one is tomorrow. Yeah.
So after I'm done with this, I'll be frantically putting it together.
Lots of stress.
Yes.
All right, Julian.
Thank you, the guests, obviously, for coming on. Really, 2 hours. Thank you for your time. All the people that showed up in the chat, thank you. I think we had like over 1,000. So thank you for coming out.
Yes.
And I have been putting out videos every other day, and I'm switching to every day for December-ish. We'll see how that goes. And I really just appreciate Kat for having me as her co-host. But you were.
I went the right way.
Wherever you
all
are.
Right, guys, we will see you next Tuesday. Thank you all for coming. Goodbye.